Look out! Damn it. Look out!
God bless.
God be with you.
You see, meine Dame, we aren't idle here. My men train like that every day.
Admirable. Lo, the worth Henry of Skalitz. I'm just holding a discussion with the captain here about his desolate fortress.
That's not how I'd put it. In the end, as mein Großvater said, the strength of a castle is measured by its garrison, and mine is one of the best in the region. What do you say, lad? Am I right?
Well, your grandfather was right. A castle with a weak garrison is no good for anything. But your men... I'd say the girls from our village would do a better job of defending the place.
What did you say, you bastard? Why don't you show us how it's done, then? Now that we have Großer Meister among us, we should make use of him, shouldn't we?
No problem. But I'm not sure it'll be a fair fight. Unlike the local garrison, I have real combat experience.
Then you'll have to show your colors.
Come, Junge. We'll stuff your clothes with straw, so you don't pull cock. The first to...
You want to try me?
God in heaven, you're seeing this.
Sir, take care of my horse. Of course.
Christ, it's hot out.
What did I do to you?
You see, meine Dame, we aren't idle here.
Lo, I'm...
That's not in there. What do you...
Oh, you...
What did you... Why don't...
Sure.
Show us what you're made.
Come, Junge. We'll stuff your clothes with straw. Pull cock, the first... Ah! Ah!
Enough! I give up!
Excellent, Henry.
Ah, it was nothing.
Gut gemacht. You have my admiration. You really are good with the sword. I hope my idiots learned a thing or two from you.
You should receive some kind of reward for that feat.
And what rewards would you have in mind?
I was rearranging our saddlebags, and I remembered I took a small memento from Trotsky.
Oh. What is it?
A hunting crossbow. I even think it's von Berghoff's. I was meaning to sell it, but it might serve you better.
My word. Thank you. Oh, I better go and find Zizka. The Margrave is expecting us.
I saw Zizka next to the stables. There was some girl hanging around him.
Do you want to come with us to see Jobst?
Not really. I'll go and pack my things instead. I have a feeling we'll have to leave soon.
Why?
A woman's intuition.
Grüß dich.
Good to see you.
Greetings. What brings you here?
How are you, dear good wife?
All the better for being greeted so respectfully. But I hope my husband didn't hear you. He's terribly jealous, and he could have you whipped. He's the captain here, you know.
You wouldn't happen to know where Lord Hinnek of Kunstad went, would you? He was a guest here.
I don't know, but I hope as far away as possible. That animal almost raised his hand to the Margrave.
What? How did that happen?
A respectable woman doesn't talk about that kind of thing. But if it hadn't been for my husband, he'd have been at his throat, believe you me.
I beg your pardon, milady, but could you tell me what's new around here? I'm asking because I've just arrived, and I'd like to know more about this region.
If it's mercenary work you're interested in, I can't help you. You'll have to ask elsewhere. God be with you.
And this scar. It's strange, crooked, like a letter from a fancy book.
This. I fell off the battlements at Laxenburg Castle.
Lord above! From the walls! And were you conquering or defending that castle, sir?
Well, depends on how you look at it. We were storming a wine cellar, you see.
Ah, I do see. Only maybe you shouldn't go around telling people that, sir. It doesn't sound too heroic.
So what? Heroes like to have a drink too, now and again. I've got loads of scars from real battles anyway. Like here, on my other arm. A groom hit me with a crossbow nearby Yichin. The boy was nearly 15. Poor fella.
That's how I lost my sweetheart.
Someone shot him?
No, he shot someone else.
Ah, I see.
And what about your eyebrow, sir? It seems a bit crooked. Do you have a scar there too?
Aye. I nearly lost my eye.
Also in battle?
No, I was a lad. I made a bet with some friends that I could run all the way down the Devil's Slope without stopping once. That's what we called this one really steep hill. Once you started down it, you either had to run all the way to the bottom, or tumble all the way there.
And you went tumbling?
I did nothing of the sort. I ran down. But as I was celebrating, prancing about like a deer, I tripped on a root. I landed on my head and cracked it open on a stump. An inch or two off, and I'd have lost that eye.
How are things, Captain?
What do you think? I've seen better days. And you, youngster?
Yeah, not so great. I'm feeling pretty battered.
Just wait until you've been through as much as I have.
Nah, don't say that. You still have your strength. A real man of iron.
A damned rusty one, I'd say. But enough chat. I see Jobst has returned to the fortress.
That's why I'm here. They're expecting us. I wanted to take Catherine along, too. But she said she'd rather get the horses ready.
She's doing the right thing. And you better run ahead and greet the Margrave. I'll join you shortly.
Are you expecting trouble?
I always expect trouble. Jobst has turned coats more times than I can count. And the way things are these days, I'd rather have horses standing by, even on a visit to my parents.
Should I really go and see Jobst on my own? He's the Margrave, though.
So what? You already know him better than I do. You met him in Ratai. I only know what I've heard about him.
All right, but he sent for us both. How's it gonna look?
A bit odd, I suppose. But you must understand, I'm doing this for our benefit. The less time I spend with a Margrave in one room, the better.
All right, then. I'll be going, then.
What'll it be?
Henry. Where's Captain Zizka?
He got held up.
I received a report that von Bergov's banner is flying in the camp of my dear cousin Sigismund, so I assume the negotiations at Trotsky didn't go too smoothly.
No, sir. I don't have good news for you, I'm afraid.
Well, good or bad, I'm sure you have plenty to report. So what happened with von Bergov at Trotsky?
Bergov had no interest in our message. By the time we finally arrived at Trotsky, he'd already long since made a deal with Sigismund. But of course he didn't tell Sir Hans and me anything. And on top of that, he used us to do his dirty work. Everything went to hell in the end, and we ended up in a dungeon. Or at least I did. They took Lord Capon away. In fact, that's why we're here. We were following von Bergov's trail.
So I've heard.
but I'd be interested to know the details. It's been some time since our meeting in Ratai, and now you appear here by the side of a quite unexpected guest.
Well, it wasn't the best circumstances to meet Zhizka in. They sent him to the Trotsky region to cause problems, and our paths happened to cross. We crossed swords. I can only thank God we didn't kill each other.
And who was giving Zhizka orders? Do you know?
I think it's some Jan Sokol of Lamberg.
That would make sense. He was always quite pig-headed.
Forgive me, my lord, but how is it possible you don't know?
This is beyond the understanding of a common villager, lad. Got that? Let's move on. I heard something about a pillory and poaching. What in God's name did you and Sir Hans get up to?
Things went wrong right from the beginning. We were ambushed, and we lost the letter. Lord Capon and I were lucky to get out of it alive. But no one at Trotsky believed that we were messengers.
Von Berghoff refused to aid a nobleman in need. That seems pretty low for a man of his stature.
Well, to be honest, Lord Capon didn't really look much like a nobleman. We were ambushed while bathing in a pond, and then we fled through the woods. So we really looked like a pair of beggars.
Ah, that must have been a peculiar feeling for Lord Capon.
Not only for him, sir. I may be just a bastard, but that doesn't mean I'm used to begging at castle gates dressed in rags.
Of course, but there is a difference between disgrace for a commoner and for a lord chosen by God. In any case, are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?
Well, you should probably know that Istvan Toth was working for von Berghoff.
Who's he?
One of Sigismund's cronies. He was causing havoc around Ratai.
Ah, yes. Hanush and Radzig mentioned some such person. They even foolishly let him go.
They had to. They gave him their word.
Yes. Well, it's actually quite heartening that some people still have such naive ideas about the world.
Well, no one let him go this time. He's dead.
Very good. From what I've heard, he was a bandit and a cutthroat. There should be no dealings with his ilk. And do you want to tell me anything else? Besides about Toth?
That's all that happened, sir.
Truly. My court messenger and bearer of tidings, both good and bad, John of Liechtenstein, has mysteriously gone silent. So every piece of information I get now is precious. By the way, you said you were in von Berghoff's dungeon. And I can imagine how they treated you there. Tell me, did you reveal anything?
Well, they asked questions, yes. But I was counting on that, and prepared myself for it.
How did you prepare yourself?
I just thought something up.
Henry, what exactly did you tell them? What you might consider to be a minor detail might be something of utmost importance.
I don't know. It all happened so fast.
But you said you had time to think. So how was it then?
Well,
I've had better liars than you failed to trick me. So tell me, what came out of those loose lips of yours?
although it wasn't me who told him, von Berghoff did get certain information.
What information?
About Liechtenstein. That he's in Kuttenburg. And what he's doing there. I'm really sorry, sir, but... well, they tortured us.
That is truly unfortunate. But you've nothing to be ashamed of. I think it's too much to expect anyone to hold their tongue under torture.
But Lord Liechtenstein... what if they killed him because of us?
John went straight into the lion's den. He knew the risks. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be glad if you stayed at the fortress. As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Rattay. I'm sure you already want to go home.
What? Go home? I can't. I have to rescue Sir Hans. I made a promise I'd protect him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Berghoff has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
Margrave.
Ah, Captain Zizka. Henry and I were just discussing Lord Capon.
Yeah, the Margrave thinks he's in no danger, and we should wait for a ransom demand.
As one does.
I wanted to talk to you about something else. I suppose you're wondering why your friend Hinnek, also known as the Dried Devil, isn't here?
Oh, there's plenty of gossip going on around the fortress. You and Pisek refused to grant him asylum.
Asylum is for those in distress, Captain. Hinnek came to burn and pillage. I have quite different plans.
And what might those be, Margrave? Sitting and talking while King Wenceslas rots in a dungeon. What would I expect? Not so long ago, you were conspiring with Sigismund against Prokop, your own brother!
It would be futile trying to explain to you the intricacies of the Luxembourg's dynastic politics. Let me just explain that that was what was called for in the situation. But I assure you that I am now acting in the best interests of this country and of King Wenceslas.
You're acting first and foremost in your own interests. Everyone knows that.
Strong words coming from a man who earns his bread by killing merchants on the road. No offense intended. I applaud your art. The pen is mightier than the sword, but there are times when it's vice versa. Enter!
All ready to leave now, sir?
Good. It's high time. I expect the captain was about to leave anyway. Are you not?
With pleasure.
And you, Henry?
Me? Well, sir, I made a promise.
I understand. I won't attempt to keep you here by force. But bear in mind, I have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, which gives us time to get ready. And if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences. Grave consequences. I consider this matter closed. Farewell and good luck.
I get the feeling Yopes didn't make a great impression on you. Are we leaving?
Yeah. And Henry's going with us.
Wait, you'll help me find Capon?
Sure. But we'll need people for that. And information. Catherine, I've got a job for you.
Yes?
Go to Kuttenburg. Find out what happened to Liechtenstein. If anyone knows what's going on in this godforsaken country, it'll be him. In the meantime, We'll go and find Dry Devil and his band.
Good luck. I'd go all the way to Rome to spy if it kept me away from the devil.
Let's go!
Stay close. The devil doesn't know you, but he should recognize me, even like this, unless he's too drunk.
What is your plan, anyway? Go from village to village, hamlet to hamlet, until we find him?
That won't be necessary. We just have to visit places where you can get booze.
Oh, so all the taverns and dens in the region?
If it comes to that.
That could take ages.
And if the devil and his band have racked up some debts, it could get a hell of a lot more complicated.
So, where do we start?
I have heard of a place that's a favored meeting spot of bandits, poachers, and all kinds of scum. If I was looking for the devil, or at least someone who knows something about him, that's where I'd go.
Sounds like a good place to start. And if we find the devil, what then?
If we're really to step on Sigismund's toes, we need capable men. And the devil's capable. Of anything, really.
I'm not sure what the three of us can achieve.
Inek's not alone. He has the devil's pack.
Who?
That's what his band is called. They're exactly the sort of men we need.
And what do you have in mind when you say step on Sigismund's toes? What about Liechtenstein and Capon?
The same thing we did to von Berghoff. But don't worry. It's gonna take a lot of time before we're ready. In the meantime, hopefully Catherine will find out where young Liechtenstein is hiding. If his spy network really lives up to the legend, he'll surely know where they're keeping young Capon.
I hope so. And when he's free, then we can step on Sigismund's toes. I'm sure Lord Capon will be happy to help.
In that case, he'd be better off staying in captivity. So, what do you say? Should we speed up?
The road's quiet. The surroundings are pretty. Why rush? At least we won't be so conspicuous.
If you say so.
Shouldn't we speed up? We won't get there before dark like this.
Don't you want to enjoy the scenery?
must be the... Hey! You nearly ran into me! Come closer, don't be shy. Quality goods here.
Well... Yeah. I hope I...
I warned you had it coming, you drunk!
Hang on. I didn't see it. Does feel better when I've had a drink. It's a gift from God.
Either you pay us back our coin, or you can leave your head with us.
You wouldn't get a crossing for an alternative, mine.
You're right about that.
I'd have a use for that turnip. But I can only pay for it with iron.
Shiska?
You turn on your heel and get going. If you value your life. You might have noticed there's more of us than you.
That can be fixed.
To hell with you! You can't stand up to this! Take that! I'll rip your arse out!
Time you fuck with me!
Go to hell!
You won't get me!
I'm not afraid of anyone but God Almighty.
The boneyard is calling you!
Do I have to pull you out of trouble again? I see you're still a drunkard.
It's good to see you too, Shishka. What happened to...
That doesn't matter now.
Huh? Who's that? Where's your old band?
You're looking at all that's left of it.
I see we have a lot to talk about.
That we do. Anyway, this is Henry. Henry, this is Kubienka.
Hiya, lad. And thanks for the help. You're handy with a sword.
Thanks.
Not that I couldn't handle them myself.
He would be one of the best archers north of the Alps. If he wasn't drunk or with one arm in the stocks all the time.
Shouldn't we leave before someone notices the corpses?
Easy, lad. This was the devil's den. If we behave ourselves, the innkeeper will just charge us a cleaning fee, and that will be that.
There will be plenty of time to get acquainted with the local customs. We're looking for the devil. Where is he?
Well, when I said we have a lot to talk about, now is the time. This is the innkeeper, Dreadlight.
Gentlemen, I won't have this. You're murdering my guests and making a mess.
They started it.
They've been drinking on credit for half a day. Who's going to pay for this now?
If you search their pockets and sell their weapons, that should cover it. And I have a feeling Kubienka here owed them some dice winnings.
I didn't cheat.
Pay him.
All right then. What did I do to deserve you? Here you go.
Ah, I see you are a nobleman and a generous one at that. You didn't have to, but thank you. I'm much obliged. You don't need to worry about anything. We'll clear away the corpses, pour some sand on the blood, and no one will know what happened here.
That's nice of you. But leave us alone now.
Nobody will be looking for them anyway. Only the catchpoles would be interested in them. You might even get a reward.
Did you hear Lord Shishka?
Yes, I did. Of course. I'm leaving. Just call if you need anything.
Is it just you and the devil here? Where's the rest?
That's the problem.
What problem?
Well, I'm alone here.
Where's everybody else?
I'd like to know that too. When the devil was captured, they scattered. Some are dead, some ran for the hills. Some are probably holed up somewhere drinking.
What? The devil's been captured and that's how you tell me the news?
How long has it been since he was captured?
I've been sitting here drinking ever since it happened. So, maybe a week, maybe even a month. More like a month.
A month? They haven't hanged him yet.
That's the thing. The devil's famous. Lots of people want him dead. But they won't give him the news or the axe. They want to send his soul to the Lord in a much worse way. The devil is a proper bastard, but not even he deserves that.
What are they planning to do with him?
The devil's got a fat price on his head. He's the most feared robber baron in Bohemia. There are several empty tents in Sigismund's camp, thanks to him. They really want to relish his death. They'll take him to their camp outside of town for that.
Who told you that?
When someone owes you a dice wager, they'll spill him what they don't know. They say the people of Kuttenburg can't wait to see him gone.
Who captured him?
How should I know? Some armed bastards.
Shit, Kubianka, you must know who came after you and why.
Well, he botched this job in Kuttenburg. It was supposed to be a breeze, but the fuckers outnumbered us 3-1. Before we could react, they knocked the devil down and pounded on him like a deaf man on a door. Etta and I tried to help him, but we just couldn't.
Fuck.
It pisses me off that we had to leave him there. But we would have been captured.
Do you know where they're keeping him?
Why? The town guard took him. So he's probably in the town jail?
Fuck. There's no way we're getting him out of there.
My words. Otherwise, we would have gotten him away from those fuckers a long time ago. Not even a mouse can get him there. We can't pull off something like that.
If they're gonna move him, that could be our chance. We'll wait for them and free the devil.
He will be watched by a dozen armed guards. We're only 3. So unless you have 10 men up your sleeve...
I thought the devil would have at least 10 men. But other than that, it makes sense. I don't think we'll have another shot.
I was going to hire some muscle for help here, but I got thirsty. You know the rest.
More like I know you. But maybe we'll find someone around here. Everybody will listen if we mention coin. Can you think of anything else that might come in handy?
Well, how about some hand cannons?
Have you got some?
Well, not on me. But maybe there are some in our old camp. It isn't far.
Maybe.
Maybe. Surely. If I can remember where we hid them. And as luck would have it, they're not far from the road they used to transport the devil.
Well, what place is that?
This narrow gully with a nice curve that backs for something nasty to happen in it. West of here. You can't miss it.
Looks like there's still some sense left in your noggin despite the booze.
And what about me?
You'll go with Kubianka to get the hand cannons. He may be... surely hid somewhere.
Great. At least I won't have to carry them myself.
Don't dilly-dally. And when you have them, meet me at the ambush spot. Keep an eye on him. And don't let him talk your ear off. So if I understand correctly, you're not afraid of any dirty work. Am I right?
Well, come on, lad. Mount up. We have to hurry. Get on your horse, or we'll never get the devil out of this. Come on, lad. Mount up. We have to hurry. Come on, lad. Mount up. We have to hurry.
Tell him the right direction, and he won't ever miss.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Greetings.
Greetings. One time, a hand cannon blew up in his hand. Since then, he can't hear, and he can only count to 8. But he'll hit whatever.
Nice out today. Hope it lasts.
So hop on, we have to ride.